What's up, YouTube? And so my last video I dropped was Cyberpunk 2077. It's still disappointing. And it was basically my review of Phantom Liberty and basically the latest version of Cyberpunk at the time. A new update did come out recently. And so I just wanted to give my thoughts on the game that I spent my hard-earned money for and pre-ordered. I was one of the unlucky few that played this game on day one. And so I just want to give my updates, and I was still underwhelmed even after the DLC and the patch 2.0 that apparently turned this game into a masterpiece, quote unquote, right? And so I dropped that video, and a lot of people were in my comments saying how, like, oh my god, this is a horrid video. This opinion doesn't make any sense. This opinion X, Y, and third. And I just wanted to give my thoughts on half the stuff y'all said, because I was reading comments. I read a bunch of them. Some of y'all were crazy and out of pocket, but it was funny though. It was fun. It was funny to see the people who didn't watch the videos by every metric of analytics and by the comments y'all were leaving. Because in the video, I rewatched it, watched it many times. I didn't even say anything that crazy. Now, what I said was, I want a game with a satisfying ending and a game with not a bunch of bugs and glitches and pop-in issues. And people will run into the defense of this game like it's the Messiah, like it's the greatest game of all time. And there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, Cyberpunk 2077 is my favorite game of all time. I loved it. I love the atmosphere. I love the world. I'm pretty sure I said it in the video that the atmosphere, the world, the story, the missions were amazing, but the ending sucked. I went into detail about Phantom Liberty, how the whole build-up of you being a secret agent and you don't knowing who to trust and you doing all these different heist missions and stuff like that was cool. It was different. I enjoyed it very much, but the ending was awful. It's this great build-up where you're in like it's a casino party type thing where you're trying to blend in, and it's like, oh, you're playing like poker with like these targets that you have to, you know, get their information so you can steal their identities. It's like stuff like that. And then you have like Reed, who's acting kind of weird where you think he's like a bad guy, but like, I wouldn't say a bad guy, like he's acting fishy, where it's like something's up with Reed, or like, should you trust them? And he's just like and then you have Johnny Silverhand yapping in your ear talking about don't trust anyone from the government, that's not a third. So it's like, it adds these different levels where it's like, I want to see where the story is going. And it had a great build up until the decision, right? And I had a bunch of people coming to the defense of the game. And it had a point where I was sitting there and I was tripping. I was like, oh, am I bugging here? I know I have some wild takes, obviously, but my takes wasn't this crazy to have this, to ire this much of a response, right? So I'm sitting here and I'm like, man, maybe I should give it one more chance. Maybe I should just cut all what I said before, start over. And when I was thinking that, the update 2.2 dropped, and it was supposed to be like the final big update or whatever and stuff like that. That's what the rumors are. this is what I'm hearing from people, right? They had a big live stream and it was saying it dropped and you could do all these different things, different customizations and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, let me run it again, okay, with a female V that's more like a melee stealth type, you know what I mean? Like, let's try something here, right? Maybe I missed something. I actually went there with a full open mind and I still run into the same problems, okay? And I'm not even talking about the story and the ending, because everybody can have their own opinion of how they want the story to be. But I'll get to that later about the whole story of the game. But there is still glaring issues with this game. There are still bugs and glitches, and I'm not saying there's not a game on this planet that's completely bug-free and glitches, but not to this extent, where there are still popping issues. Bad audio issues. Your car being launched into the sky for no reason.
Specific dreams.
And I know what someone's gonna say if you even got to this point, because people love to just comment without even watching the goddamn video. that, oh my god, you need the new update. This is the new update. This is the new update. I've run into crashes. This update is worse than the previous update. And I'm not even trying to be hyperbolic. I don't want to be one of those YouTubers that makes rage bait videos. What the hell? Who does that, right? I mean, it's insanity to me. The previous update from a stability standpoint was better for me. This game has not crashed since I played it, right? It didn't crash since I played it recently. When it first came out, it was crashing like fucking crazy. And I had to check, all my drivers are updated. Everything, I triple check. This is not even just I'm tripping here. Maybe it's my end, okay? There's pop-in issues, there's stuttering, there's crashes. It's like, yo, and you have all these people sitting there yapping to me. You just don't understand. I've played this game for 25,000 hours, and I just don't understand what you're talking about. Like, those bugs didn't happen for me, so it just clearly doesn't exist. Get the fuck out of here. What are we doing here? But I understand it's the internet. And it's like, it's not even all the comments, because like some of the comments were like, I understand your opinion, I just disagree. I get that. Listen, we can disagree all day long. I could say the sky is blue and you could say the sky is black, and we just gonna have to agree to disagree at a certain point. Okay, I understand it. I'm not gonna sit here and try to sway you to one side or the other. This is just my experiences. But don't sit there and cap to me talking about this is the greatest game of all time. Clearly a masterpiece. Clearly the new form of art of video games that we need to dissect for generations to come. Get the fuck out of here, okay? Especially when GTA has been around for decades and it blew this the fuck out the water. Red Dead Redemption 2 blew this out of the water, okay? And it came out before this. You don't see a GTA game with these issues other than the Definitive Edition. No one's gonna type that. The Definitive Edition was awful, absolutely. But let's be honest here. If GTA 6 came out and had similar issues to this, people will not stop shutting up about it. But because I don't know if it's because of CD Projekt Red or because people have been waiting for so long this game to be good that it's finally in a decent state that people are like, oh my god, it's the masterpiece I've been waiting for. And it's like, I love the aesthetic. I love the world of the cybernetics and the cyberpunk era and all that stuff. I live for this. This is what I wanted. I want to make my character into a Terminator going around fucking shit up. This is amazing to me. But when I say that there's issues with the bugs and glitches, all of a sudden I'm the bad guy is insanity. It's crazy to me. And it's not even a problem. If you like this game, if it don't apply, let it fly. If you love this game, love it. Hey, listen, I understand loving this game. I would see it. I just can't look past every time I play the game, there is something wrong. I can't get through a session without something breaking, and it's ridiculous. Now, there were some people that said, hey, maybe it's a PC issue. Maybe it's like a graphics issue. This game came out before the graphics card I have in my computer was even fucking made. There is no way you're telling me that I need a super high-end 4090 Ti or whatever, or 50 series for this game to run properly. It's bullshit, okay? The game and I'm not even saying it's not like a buggy mess like it was in the beginning, but there are glaring issues that still need to be fixed, that when they make a sequel will be addressed, I'm 100% sure. But let's not sit here and sugarcoat and blindly defend, because they ain't Cyberpunk. CD Projekt Red aren't paying y'all. Y'all not putting money in your pockets for leaving the comments talking about this game is a masterpiece. I love everything about it. What the fuck are we talking about here? And so people did mention, I was talking about how the story was underwhelming and stuff like that, and I didn't like the ending per se. And so I was comparing it to Red Dead Redemption 2, which is a game that handled the story about your main character dying 100 times better. And I didn't even per se like the final act of Red Dead Redemption 2 the most, because it felt like they were like kind of like redoing certain beats over again, where it's like you need to do a heist and Dutch is like we need more money, and it's kind of like it made sense in the story, you know what I mean? But like replaying it was like a stop and say, okay, I get it, you know what I mean? I get what you're saying. It was like this inevitable build up to Arthur passing away, and everyone's like, no, you just don't get it. The story is so much deeper than that. The story is that you can't do anything about death, and once you're died, that's it. I get the goddamn story. This isn't complex. This is something that needs to be studied. This is not a story that is so multi-layered that you need to break it down for me. like I'm drooling at the mouth. You know what I mean? It's like, I get it. I understand what they were going for. It's just the execution was poorly made, especially for some of the endings where I said, and I went into details, you go through all this stuff to build these connections and relationships with certain people, and it just falls apart because of poor communication skills that doesn't make any sense. In the world itself doesn't make any sense. Not from me sitting at home reading it doesn't make sense, which it doesn't also. But if you can immediately text multi-layered sentences in an instant, you tell them you can't tell someone that you're emotionally and romantically attracted to or into that has commitment issues, that you're leaving for a good amount of time for your own medical health. I think I would understand that you will be able to do something like that. It only makes sense. And this is for one of the endings. There's only one ending with Pan Am where you side with her and you leave Night City. That is a decent ending, but it's still like all the endings are like underwhelming. And I get it, the whole story is like, oh, dark and depressing and stuff like that, but you have 7 goddamn endings. And if only one halfway is decent, that doesn't mean it's a good ending. So like, what? That's like me saying, hey, you have a wide range of cakes here, okay? From chocolate to carrot, and you can have as many as you want. And you eat all of them and they're all undercooked and bad. Well, I gave you 7 cakes. What are you complaining about? What? You know how insane that sounds? We're past damn near the 10-minute mark, and I know half of y'all that are already typing angry comments on I don't understand the nuance of this game is already typing away like a minute in. So, you know, for those who actually watched the goddamn video, please hit the like button and subscribe. And I'm out. Peace.
Give a nigga a break. Give a nigga a break. How much more can I take? Give a nigga a break.